Hey everyone, Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler here. Today is another merch talk. Today I have a special guest, Rules for Rebels. What's up, Johnny? Want to say hi?
What's happening, guys? How you guys doing?
Now, for those that don't know, Johnny Rules for Rebels has a pretty cool YouTube channel. And do you want to tell folks like basically what your YouTube channel is all about?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel, Rules for Rebels. It's actually kind of funny. I've been kind of trying to figure out what my angle was, or kind of what my theme was here recently. And someone had kind of dropped a comment just the other day and said, kind of trending entrepreneurship topics and current events and things like that. But really, anything having to do with making money online, e-commerce, Amazon FBA, merch, like we're going to be talking about today. I dabble in a whole lot of different stuff and just kind of try to share that with the audience.
Yeah, I take a lot of great tidbits from your videos. You have a different bunch of series. What is the one series you do every week? I think it's what is it called?
Yeah, so we do a series every Tuesday. Actually, I missed yesterday. I had a lot going on, but it's Side Hustle Tuesdays. And each week, basically share a story of an entrepreneur who started a side hustle. So, not some huge full scale business, something that somebody started in their free time outside of their job. Try to focus on things that are easier to get going. Don't take a ton of money or any really specialized skills. And just kind of sharing where those stories go. And, some of them wind up being like huge six-figure businesses with people quitting their jobs. And other ones are just something that brings in a couple $100 a month for somebody, but try to cover all different types of stuff from, blogging to affiliate marketing to reselling to manufacturing products, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's you have a variety of different topics, and it's really great. So anyone that's watching, Rules for Rebels link is going to be below. Definitely go and check out his content. If you like it, definitely go and subscribe to him. But today is merch talk. I don't know where Joe, Margaret, Jeff, or Nick. I know Nick is busy in New York. He's doing something. He's doing some kind of job in New York, so I know he's not around. But as far as the other gang, I have no idea. Hopefully, they will pop in at some point. But today I'm glad that we have Johnny here with Rules for Rebels. So thanks for actually not making this a solo show. That would be like we haven't done a solo show to my knowledge. So I'm glad that we're not going to do that today.
So happy to be on.
Yeah, dude, we're happy to have you. And so anyone that's in the chat room, we want to say hello. Definitely click the like button and share this video if you think anyone might want to watch this show. This is Merch Talk. Today is July 25th, 2018. So let's get right into it. Johnny, do you want to talk about your numbers so far this month?
Yeah, so thus far, closing in on the end of the month here, I have 163 sales, 18 of which are pop sockets. As soon as they got rolled out, I'm not thrilled about the commissions, but definitely saw an opportunity there. So was trying to really kind of go strong and flood niches. So 18 pop sockets sold, 12 returns and 6 cancellations, which is a little bit high for me, but so yeah, that's the numbers there.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. And any do you do Printful with Etsy integration by any chance?
You know what? A little bit. I started getting into it a while back. I was going to kind of put out a dedicated store, and I have maybe 8 or 10 designs up. They sell occasionally. I think those sponsored listings on Etsy are pretty helpful. And I'm actually kind of in the process right now of rolling out this kind of theme store with like a theme of 60 to 70 shirts. And I'm going to hit Etsy with those because the few I have up there are selling pretty good. And actually going to be doing a Printful Shopify integration. I tried Custom Cat and was kind of really disappointed with the experience there. So yeah, I think Printful is probably the way to go.
Yeah, I've never heard of Custom Cat. What's that? Is that another POD service?
Yeah, their kind of claim to fame is a $6, I believe it's a Gildan, $6 Gildan shirt, and so I think a lot of people like them just because the price point, leaves some room to make some money without having to charge, 25, $30 for a shirt. And it's kind of a Shopify plugin. I think it works with Etsy and a few others, but the back end wasn't quite as good as Printful, and I ordered a shirt, and it's just, I like selling a better quality shirt. I want people's friends to see them and recommend them, and it was just kind of scratchy and thick and wasn't really something I was comfortable selling.
Yeah, very cool. So yeah, so speaking of Printful, if anyone hasn't started to join Printful, I have an affiliate link below. Definitely check that out. I think it's actually the first link below, and definitely check that out. I love the profit margin on that. Would you agree? The profit margin?
Yeah, they're a lot better than some of the other sites. Some of these other ones, they have a fixed price and you're making $2. So I like that Printful has a pretty low price and also kind of gives you the flexibility to set your own prices too.
Yeah, yeah. So it was kind of crazy when I put off Printful for months, and everyone on the show here was saying that I should definitely check that out. And I kind of dragged my feet for the longest time because I wanted this. My whole game plan was to get merch under my belt before I jumped around, because there's a lot of people that either go wide, and I wanted to go deep. So I kind of missed the train on that. But when I did start Printful, I noticed that I was actually doing better with Printful than I was on merch by Amazon. So it was kind of funny. So definitely go if anyone's wants to join Printful. There's a link below, and definitely check that out. Speaking of Printful, we have a few. Actually, I didn't give my numbers. Let me give my numbers. I'm kind of sidetracking the show already. This month so far, I've sold 40 t-shirts on merch by Amazon and 190 pop sockets so far, which is when I tell people those numbers, they're very surprised. So I think I'm doing pretty well with that. I was one of the first ones that were offered the thing. I guess they came out in waves, and I got the first wave. Did you get the first wave or the second wave?
I think I got the second wave. I think it was probably about 4 days after they rolled them out that they got rolled out to me, and spent the first 2 or 3 days. I told myself I want to get like 300-400 designs up. And I've slowed down a little bit since then, but yeah, I think a lot of people are kind of sleeping on pop sockets and think it's a stupid product or don't like the commission. And so I definitely think there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah, that's what
Your numbers are insane. Did I hear you right? 190?
190 so far this month. I think I've sold probably over 300 since they rolled it out. Yeah, I got extremely lucky because of my kind of like marketing and design background. I was able to pretty much figure out what the top things to do were, and I just dove in, and I only probably have maybe about 119 designs up right now, but they're all ones that I think like are aesthetically pleasing to the eye and all that kind of fun stuff. But I think price point has a lot to do with the thing. They're not at $14.99. They're lower than that. So I think that might be part of my personal game plan with that.
You know what I think's kind of cool about pop sockets is as soon as they rolled out and I saw the template and everything, it definitely kind of lends itself to some different styles of designs that you can't really do on t-shirts, especially like patterns and things like that. So I found it kind of fun to be able to kind of mix up the types of designs I'm doing a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. And you mentioned like the patterns and things like that. I find it super easy to make the pop socket designs than the t-shirt designs. You can, take one pattern and totally change the different colors and put different backgrounds and put foregrounds. And man, you can literally take, I've actually taken one design and done like, 10 other things from that one design, and then see sales come from the original thing for that.
One thing I noticed, I mean, I got a pop socket on my phone right here, and I'm still shocked by how many people don't even know what a pop socket is. And I think that might be where some of the lack of interest. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, this is a trend or a fad. And I think I'd seen some girls with these things, and I was like, another stupid kind of phone accessory. But my girlfriend's friend was over one day, and she had one of these, and I saw it. And you know what? I tried out her phone, and I'm like, these things are actually very, very functional. I mean, I can't use my phone without one now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And we'll get into that in just a second. We want to welcome Joe Clay with Merch University. Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Hey, it's going great. Sorry, guys, I was doing another interview, so just got done with that. So.
Oh, no problem, no problem. You got to take care of your business first, man. We totally understand. Joe, this is Johnny from Rules for Rebels. He has an awesome YouTube channel.
Hey, Johnny, what's up? Yeah, I checked out not only your channel today, but I've heard of you before, and I have checked out your channel, man. It's got some great stuff on there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I actually saw you're in Chris's video the other day and reached out to him and say, hey, if you need anybody on, I'd love to come on. But yeah, enjoyed your guys' discussion on here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, what's cool about Johnny is he's pretty much knee deep in the merch stuff too, and does a lot of stuff with his channel, but is not like, you're not on Facebook, right, Johnny? So you don't do that whole thing.
Yeah, I've always kind of slept on Facebook. Yeah.
So I think that's why a lot of people that are in the merch community are not familiar with your work, because you'd have to be basically like on YouTube and be in that whole ecosystem to find Johnny for sure.
It seems like Facebook's a big place for kind of the merch community to gather.
Yeah, for sure. I think, well, the thing is, all these social places, they have different kind of traits that are good and bad. You just got to find out what works for you and then kind of roll with that for sure. Joe, what's up, man? Do you have your numbers, or how's everything been going for so far this month?
Man, things have been going really good. This week, let me see here. I actually had my numbers a while ago. I was talking about them, but
no problem.
The other day I had a really good day, and I don't know, I think we talked about it last time about I was changing all my prices to all my designs.
Yeah.
And I've been like selling so many shirts since I've done about 400 shirts that I've changed. And a lot of those shirts, man, have been selling like crazy for me. So I'm excited about that. Let's see here. Just in actually only the last 7 days, I've done like 28 shirts. But one day I had like a huge sale. I did like double digits. So yeah, I've been doing okay.
Cool. Let me ask Johnny, since he's new here on the show. There's a tinfoil hat theory that I have, that anytime you start messing with your titles or you're changing your prices, you see increased sales. Have you ever seen that kind of pattern before?
You know what? To be honest, I'm kind of scared to change things. If something's working, I tend to be scared to change it, and some of the stuff that's not working, I would say when I do that, I'll notice a little uptick in sales. One kind of tinfoil hat theory I've really been noticing a lot lately is when I stopped posting, I was kind of getting a little bit burnt out for a while. Sales just came to a halt, and as soon as I put like 3 designs back up, it picked right back up. But yeah, I've kind of been raising most of my stuff to full price, whereas before I was trying to go a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, that was one of the game plans I had early on, was to go cheap so I can tier up quick, and that actually worked. And now all the shirts that I do now are pretty much close to $19.99. So I hear you there. And which funny, because I haven't really sold much at the $19.99 price point. It's usually the ones that are the older ones that are still cheaper on that.
Yeah, and like I always say that I kind of been through this process a few times where I start low and then I start selling and then I'll bump them up and then the sales will stop. And then I keep doing that over and over. Well, I'll drop them down and get sales and I'll bump them up. And then so now I'm at a point where like, okay, I dropped them down, I'm getting all the sales. Maybe I'm just going to keep them low, because even selling low, I was selling so much that I was making more money than when I was selling them at a higher price anyway. So I think I might keep them low for a while just to try it out, because it's always worked for me. But I always get that like, oh, if I just price it higher, I'm going to make more money. But it's never happened for me.
You know, that's something that I wrestle with a lot too. Is I'm like, okay, if I sell 10 shirts at $2, I make $20, but at full price, I only got to sell 4 of them. You know, am I going to sell this many more shirts by changing it? See, I'm constantly going back and forth with that.
Yeah.
So I actually have a couple of points of news today. Johnny's going to talk about something also. Joe, did you have anything did you want to talk about today? Any points of?
No, not really.
Okay. So the first actually elephant in the room is the remittance error, the remittance email that everyone got a few days ago. And I would like to say, and Joe can probably confirm this, I was the first one to literally bring it up like minutes after I got the email. I said, I talked to these guys on Facebook. I'm like, did you guys see this? And you guys are all laughing, thinking it was like some kind of joke or just something that was just for me. And then as soon as in real time, everyone started to get it, the email. And then it was like, nope, this is something that is happening global. So for those that don't know, pretty much Merch by Amazon sent out an email that had what you made for the previous month, and it was extremely low. For some people, it was 50%. For some, it was more. For me, it was way low. I think it was like maybe 90% or 80% of less of what I should have had. So I was freaking out right from the get go. And for me, I thought like maybe for me, it looked like the pop socket sales weren't included. It was just t-shirt sales. For you guys, we'll start with Johnny first. Did you get this remittance email, and how did you feel about the whole thing?
Yes, you know, it's kind of funny. Normally, I don't even bother even checking those remittance emails. It's just like a straight delete. I don't even open them. I just figure they owe me however much money. They're probably going to pay me however much money. And for whatever reason, I happened to open this one, and I was probably a little under 50% of what they should have paid me. And I kind of freaked out. I'm like, either I have 100 returns I don't know about, or my account's about to be shut down. You know, something's going on. And then I saw there's that woman Elizabeth on the Amazon forum seems to be really kind of helpful and on top of things. And I saw about 3 days before it was mentioned on the Amazon dashboard, she had kind of addressed it. And we had talked a little bit before the show. One kind of interesting thing I noticed is I know they said you're going to get your full payment in the second one. Essentially, I was paid about half of what I was owed. I did get a second payment, but it was only like $24. So I'm still owed a substantial amount, but I did see it referenced by that Elizabeth that it might come in 2 chunks. So I'm still waiting on one more.
Wow. So you're waiting on 3 chunks instead of 2?
I guess I'm expecting to get it in 3. I've gotten 2 chunks so far, one of about half, another one of $20 and some change. So I'm still waiting on about half my payment.
Oh man, Joe, how did your whole situation go with this?
Mine got split in half. It said I was going to make like 50%. And I'm like, that's not right. And so then when I got the new email, it said only half again. So I'm waiting on mine because they owe me like half, more than half. So
yeah.
I saw on somebody posted that they said I got somebody's money and it's not mine. And then I talked to Michael Lessony because me and him I talk to him all the time. So I was like, hey, did you get this or what? And he's like, oh, let me check. And he's like, oh, it looks like I owe $3. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that's crazy. I actually got the money, some of that money actually a couple days ago, which is weird because usually don't get it that fast. Usually it's to the end of the month, the 28th or the 29th or something around there when you start to get your money once they tell you on the 20th. So I thought that was kind of weird. I like that actually to get the money. I wish they'd pay you out like right at the first of the month. That would be nice, but we have to wait on that. So
looking at my bank account now, it looks like I only got paid half of what they owe me.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll get that other half.
Well, I'm hoping Johnny gets his portion too, because it sounds like he's owed a pretty good amount from what his sales were. So that's crazy. But I've never heard of people actually getting someone else's money. That's crazy if that's true.
Yeah, I heard that. So because somebody's like, I don't know where this money came from, but I mean, it wasn't in their bank. It was just the email.
So let's actually tinfoil hat this a little bit. I guess I'll start. I think this is because of pop sockets. Johnny, what do you think?
You know, to be honest, I hadn't really put too much thought into why, but yeah, I think that would, especially with your numbers, that would make sense. It sounds like that might be what's kind of missing there.
Yeah, Joe.
And that kind of makes sense because a lot of the people who have like the softwares that integrate with merch, like Merch Lister Pro, and I don't know if Merch Buddy, but a lot of them, their system stopped working when they introduced pop sockets, and they had to reconfigure their own systems to get them to work again because something happened in that algorithm or whatever, something in the coding that messed up these other sites. So, something's going on.
Can I ask you guys something real quick? I don't mean to get us off track here.
No. Please put us on track.
I've been really wrestling with whether or not to use any of this like upload automation stuff. I really would like to. I think it'd save a ton of time and really allow me to scale, but I'm scared to death of making Amazon angry. Is Merch Lister Pro one of those where it copies and pastes things? I know there's a couple of these things coming out, but are you guys using any of those? Or
Merch Lister Pro is just a copy and paste thing. Once you do your upload, it'll just copy words mainly. It doesn't have anything to do with the uploading. It's mainly has to do with just like choosing colors and bullet points.
Okay, so it's just basically porting over your title.
Yeah. So it doesn't really have to do with actually your uploading. You're not doing like a mass upload. You're just copy and paste. You're just pushing a key, and it pretty much just puts the words on there for you. That's all it does.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not messing with the uploads or anything like that. So.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't use any third-party applications at all. So I think Joe, Johnny, if you have any questions about those kind of things, definitely Joe is the guy to ask, because I would say he uses pretty much all the third-party plugins and things that they're out there. So he knows a lot about it. So if you do have questions, and for those in the audience, if you have any questions about third-party applications, definitely put those in chat. So do you have any more questions about third-party apps, Johnny, by any chance?
That was kind of the main one I was interested in. I kind of go back and forth dabbling with some of these different keyword tools and things like that. But yeah, yeah, I know Amazon doesn't want automated uploads, but yeah, the copy and pasting tool I think would save time and still be within policy. So that might be something I have to check out here.
We used to get all those questions about those questionnaires about like bulk uploading, kind of like maybe like for a design. And so maybe they'll start doing that, you know. I mean, like Redbubble does, you know, something like that. So hopefully one day we'll get that. So you don't have to upload one design, you know, 5 different times. So we'll see.
Yeah, it seems like that's something a lot of people want to come out because yeah, Redbubble, we got 20, 30 products all within one click.
Yeah.
Man, speaking of Redbubble, I sell some stickers every once in a while. Do you guys have seen any success with Redbubble, or just you haven't been putting in your heart and soul into it?
I haven't really used Redbubble too much. I've sold a couple stickers, but that's about it.
I was kind of like you. I know we were talking a little bit earlier and saying, I kind of decided to stick to merch. I figured merch is the most powerful, and I thought I'm going to branch out a little bit. So I started kind of every time I upload something to merch, I'd go to Redbubble, and I've sold a handful of stickers. But yeah, it seems like that's the only thing that sells on there from most people I talk to is stickers.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I did, I'm the king of research. I'm not gonna lie. Like I love to dive deep into metrics and data and things like that. And the thing that I did with Redbubble is I started just to do stickers because I noticed that. And since I don't do Redbubble that much, I guess my extensive research pointed to me that young college girls, their laptop stickers, like that's all you need to really go and do on Redbubble is go down that avenue and you'll find success because of all the research I did. That is the demographic for Redbubble. So if you guys didn't know, now you know.
It's funny going along with that line of thinking. Like I've been kind of focusing that with pop. It seems like most guys I talk to are like, "Oh, pop sockets. Those are the stupid things girls have." And every girl I know has a pop socket. So I've been kind of trying to focus my designs on kind of the female audience.
Yep, you are correct. Joe, do you do the manly ones? Do you have like meat on the grill or anything like that?
No, mine are all girly.
Yep. And it's funny because I have done the whole spectrum of pop sockets, and I will agree with Johnny that it seems to be a female market dominated, and so just take that and run with it for sure. So another point of news I have today, and this might not actually be for everyone, but Printful actually has women's polo embroidery. That came out a couple days ago. For those that don't know, Printful does embroidery. They have actually pretty nice embroidery service. As a matter of fact, that's where I made these D-tube hats, was from Printful. So for those that are interested in making hats and like this, and the quality is amazing. And real quick, for those that don't know, there's a fee. It's about $8 fee when you do embroidering for any design. It's a one-time fee. You pay that and it's good forever after that, as long as you don't delete your file from your gallery, I think it's called, or library or something like that. So there's that. So Printful now is doing women's polos. Have you guys found any success with polos? I know I haven't really gone down that avenue myself.
I have never done a polo.
Johnny?
Same here. Yeah, I haven't tried them yet.
Now, I think there's actually a pretty good market for polos that I'm going to explore. I'm not going to exactly say what it is right now because I would actually pretty much give the farm away. But I did notice that there are some really cool niches to get into when it comes to polos. And so maybe when I do this full time, I'll explore that. But I just want to let you guys know that Printful now has women's embroidery and stuff like that. And like I said, this D-tube hats, the quality on the hats are amazing. Joe or Johnny, have you guys made hats yet?
I haven't made any hats, but I want to. I want to start making some hats.
It's kind of funny. I decided to kind of dabble with it. So I threw together a design, paid the embroidery fee, and a couple days later got an email that something about my image was too small or the quality wasn't going to show up right. And so I was going to have to go back in and edit. And to be honest, it's probably been about 6 weeks and I haven't had a chance to go back in there and do it yet.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm doing is doing print tech.
You want to go
to that? Print tech?
The floor is yours, Joe.
Oh, the floor is mine. Okay, so there was a webinar that Chris Green did with the owners of Print Tech, and so I started to listen to it and find out what it is. And what it is, it's like Printful, and they're big into like personalized and custom names and stuff. But they have 80 products that you can use pretty much, and you can either connect it to your Amazon like seller store, or you can connect it to a Shopify store, or you can connect it to an Etsy store. So I decided to do Etsy, and so your first 7 days is free, but then after that, it's $9, I think $10 a month, but you get access to 80 products, and it's pretty much print on demand. And but things that I uploaded today were let's see, what did I upload? Oh, Flask. So I had Flask, and I put like a certain graphic on there, and then on the bottom I put like where you can add your name. So it's going to be a customized thing. So if somebody orders it, they'll get that logo, but then you can also add their name. They also have like Pilsners, like the Yeti cooler type drink cups. They have those. So I uploaded a bunch of those today. I uploaded like can wraps where like you can put your can in it, keep it cool. They have like leather bound journals. They have etched glass where you can put, have etched glass. They have all kinds of stuff that you can do. So I'm trying out all the, we were on Merch by Amazon. We're like, oh man, we can't wait for the next product. This kind of like does a shortcut for me. I'm excited about it. I'm like, look, I got like 80 products I can do. I mean, some are clothing, of course, that I don't need to do since I can use Printful for that. But man, I'm excited. There's like Bible covers. There's like bibs. There are tons of stuff, 80 different products that you can choose from, and you can make stuff. And so I've been playing with that a lot, and I'm really excited about it. And hopefully that'll turn out to something. I've only been on it for 3 or 4 days now, but I'm excited. I've been uploading all kinds of crazy stuff today.
How's their pricing? Pretty decent base prices?
Man, pretty much you can make 100% of whatever they're charging. So yeah, and actually like let me see, for example, like a hoodie, you only sell it for, I think it's like $25 or something, but you're making like $10 or $15 profit off of it. So yeah,
that was really good.
Yeah, like some of their prices are really cheap, so you're making a lot of profit. So it's good. So and it's all print on demand too. So they don't make anything unless somebody buys it. So and you're not, you pretty much pay $10 a month to have access to all those products.
So let's explore that a little bit. So Print Tech, you're saying, okay, so you get 7 days free, and then you have to, it's a monthly fee. And so basically they're just like the third party. Do they do drop shipping and all that stuff?
They do. Well, they're shipping it to your customer for you.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So they take care of all of that. And all you really need to do is just find a listing or a website to put them on.
Well, you either do your own Shopify store, or you do it on Amazon.com, or you do it on Etsy, the integration. Yeah. And I chose Etsy. And I think the Amazon one is $20 a month.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. I might try that out. I might look into it. I'm like, right now I'm just figuring out what's going on. So the big question is, Joe, have you made any money?
Well, no, I just started. I just uploaded before today. I only put like 2 products on. So today I really started going crazy. And what I'm going to be doing the rest of the day is focusing on that, because like here's a great example for Etsy and Printful. If I wanted to scale a design, I would make my graphic, and then I would put like, let's just say for example, like I would put like best dad ever, okay, for a shirt in Printful, and I'd upload it and send it to Printful and Etsy. Okay. Then if I wanted to say like best father or best poppy or best grandpa, I would have to make those designs each individually, upload them to Printful and send them. With this one, you can make like best blank, leave it blank and then put ever. And then on their site, on that Print Tech site, you can push this personalization button, and it'll let you fill in, where you could put your name here. And so when someone orders that, they just type in, I want it to say dad, poppy, grandpa, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, whatever. And then they do it on their side, and you don't even have to do it. You only need to upload once compared to just trying to scale and make 40 of those. Yeah.
That's cool. The only problem I see with that is if you have your own like font in Photoshop and it's not their font, and you do that, then it would look kind of funny. Does that make sense?
Yeah, one thing you can do is like they have a list of their fonts, and so you can kind of go, see what they have, and then you can go back and make the designs with those pretty much.
Cool. Johnny, have you heard of Print Tech before?
No, it sounds interesting. I've kind of tried to explore some different options, and you kind of hear the same names get thrown around, so that's a new one for me.
Yeah.
What? One other quick word, kind of on that I was thinking about is, I know he said there's a monthly fee, and I see a lot of people like anytime any money's being charged for anything, it's I can't do that. And with a lot of these services, whether it be printing or whatever else, $10 a month, $12 a month, it's like 3-4 t-shirts sold, it's paid for. So I think a lot of people are getting scared off where, if you're not planning on selling 3-4 t-shirts a month, why are you even doing this? So yeah, definitely don't be afraid to kind of invest in your business, because this is one of the cheapest, lowest barrier to entry things that you can get into, period, as it is.
Yeah, there's hardly any cost with print on demand. I mean, there's no cost in with merch, really. I mean, not like if you're making your own designs and stuff, we're not paying any monthly fees or anything. So
yeah, I think Yang is, for those that don't know Yang, he does a podcast also with Hustler Hacks, and his whole big thing is you got to spend money to make money. So a huge shout out to Yang for sure. We got Reseller Niche in the house. Howdy, folks. How you doing? We actually have a couple of questions in the chat. We're going to get to that, and then we're going to get to some of the stuff with actually Johnny had a topic, and we'll get to that. But let's get into these questions real quick. Lord Abehab is asking, why does a shirt on merch go into started process status for hours before it goes live if all I do is change the price? Anyone?
Because their system works like, I think it goes into like it's automatic, that like a computer's kind of reading it first, I think. And they're just checking. They think it's a new shirt, so they're just double checking it. That's what I think it does.
Yeah, I was going to say same thing. Even though you're just changing the price, potentially you could change the title or bullet points, and I think they still want to vet it and make sure you're not using a trademark term or whatever else.
Boom. Exactly. My thoughts are that exactly that, even though you've just changed the price, things change, trademarks change, everything like that is definitely fluid. And as a matter of fact, I've had shirts that, like Johnny was saying earlier, how he's scared to change something like that, or nervous, or I don't want to say scared. You don't seem like a guy.
No, I'm scared.
But I've done that before, where I've actually took one of my best sellers and went to change the price, to up the price, and it no longer can ever be uploaded because of a trademark issue that was found. And so one of the things that Jeff loves to do is just to leave it. Don't change it. If something's working well, like you said earlier, Johnny, it's probably best not to mess with it.
Well, it's funny. I mean, this maybe should tell me something, but there's some shirts where I know 100% it's like all original, and there's other stuff where I'm not stealing anything, but it's just some things I think lend themselves more to something I think might be out there somewhere. And so, yeah, there's definitely certain shirts that I'm much less likely to mess with. Just because I don't want it to go through the review process again. Yeah.
Actually, that's a good segue actually in this whole thing. Johnny, you had a policy violation, I think you said, on a pop socket. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, it's kind of funny. I got my first, I believe it's my first policy. I've had some shirts rejected at the upload process, but I actually got my first upload policy violation. It was kind of funny. My folks stopped over for dinner last night, brought some Portillos by, and I had ordered my mom a pop socket, and I was going to show her it on Amazon, and I clicked, and I got the 404 dog page, and I'm like, that's weird. Did it about 3 more times, same thing. Try another shirt, it worked fine. And when I got in front of a computer, I saw this shirt's been taken down for a policy violation. And the word I used was low country, which it was kind of a Charleston, South Carolina kind of themed shirt. And it was actually selling a lot of pop sockets. And low, it's really amazing. A lot of these terms that are very innocent, somebody trademarks it, and obviously Amazon tends to be kind of go overboard in terms of how they enforce things. And it was kind of funny. I actually made a video on a topic this morning, but one thing that I kind of find, and I'd be kind of curious to hear your guys' experiences, but trademarks really are only supposed to protect a brand and brand confusion. And at least from what I found, I mean, if somebody has a cooking spice out that has the same word as my t-shirt, even though they're not even in the same realm, it's going to get flagged. And I've also even noticed trademarks which have been abandoned but still show up. Even those types of things seem to get cracked down upon.
Thoughts, Joe?
Nope, no thoughts.
Blank stare. No,
I mean, I did have a pop socket violation too, but it actually had to do with, which is actually, it was kind of weird. I saw a pop socket up online, and they show those black ones, and so like I'm like, oh, black ones. So I started making like some colored, just plain colored ones, and I made like red, blue, and like some really cool colored ones, and those ones all got approved, no problem. And the black one, it got rejected, and I'm like, there's another black one on there, so I don't know if it's because it was actual pop sockets, or who owned the black one, or you couldn't put black up, or what. But that was one of my rejections, and I'm like, wow, but all these blue one went through and purple, but why did black get rejected? So it was confusing. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what? I have kind of a similar story. Mine, I had a black one rejected, and looking back on it, I don't recall whether it was black or if I accidentally did a clear background and forgot to put a background. That could have been it, but it was actually taken down for low quality artwork or something, I think was the reason they gave. But looking back, I wasn't sure if it was black or if I just saw it as black because it didn't have a background on it.
Yeah, I actually just got an idea from you guys. So it's like, maybe here's my tinfoil hat on that, is maybe they just don't want you to make your own. So like maybe if you did a blank one or whatever, you can just make it at the lowest possible price, get those, and then use your own stickers on top of that. Or maybe, I don't know, that's just the thought process that went for me. But
that sounds probably right. They don't want you to make any blank ones that are black. Yeah.
Right. I don't know. So definitely I've had a few policy takedowns with pop sockets, just because like I said, I was one of the first ones in on pop sockets, and I use actually pop sockets in my brand name with other keywords, and they were good for a while. They were good for about a week and a half before they started to pull them. And so those are the only policy violations that I had, was because I used the pop socket name in the brand name. So
let me go back to what y'all were talking about earlier with about changing prices and stuff. I remember one time I changed some prices on one, like this was probably a year ago, and I changed probably like 10 prices, and 9 of them went through, and one of them that's probably been on there for 6 months, it got a rejection. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I guess it was a good thing, because maybe that got trademarked or something, and I don't really remember. It's been over a year ago, but I just took it down. No big deal.
You know what? In terms of violations, I was kind of curious your guys' feeling, kind of going back to the terms and stuff. But I mean, there's obviously a lot of kind of infamous terms like classy and despicable. And I know you're not allowed to say hipster, but it's tough to juggle trying to put in relevant keywords with also making sure you're not stepping on anyone's toes with words. Do you guys think, like, are we allowed so many per month? Are more established accounts given a little bit more leeway? Like,
I would say from all the people, when there was a lot of people like merch people who have channels, and Young and Glenn, and a lot of them that were in Las Vegas for, I think it was the licensing expo. And they actually got to talk to the head of Amazon. And pretty much what they were saying like, okay, we understand mistakes, but that they know, I think they know the difference between mistakes and actually going after trademarks and trying to skirt around it, or trying to shortcut it, and trying to do things that you're not supposed to do just to get a trademark listing up. And they can kind of see that. But if they see something in your listing, and if it's just one shirt or something, they kind of give a little bit of, I think they lean towards more of a leeway than if they really see you that you did make a Star Wars shirt, or you're trying to do something crazy, or you're trying to do a really close parody, that they know that you're trying to get away with something. So, yeah.
As I saw last Halloween, everyone was trying to make like M&M shirts to wear like as a costume, and I was like, yeah, this isn't going to last too long.
Mm-hmm. And even if, some of those do get through, but they're going to come back and they're going to find you, and they're not going to give you your money, or you're going to get suspended, or you're going to get terminated. So there's really no point of doing that. So.
Joe, we have a specific question for you from American Yesteryear. They are asking for Etsy print tech products. Is there a way to limit or restrict the number of characters that a customer can use for customization?
Oh, I see it. Yeah. What if they type overly long? I would say that it's because on Etsy, like I communicate with my customers all the time. So I would, I would probably talk to them and say, hey, we can't, we're gonna have to put this on 2 lines, or if it's your family name, or if it's something, I would have to talk to them one-on-one to see what we could do. But I'm sure we could add an extra line to the personalization, because I've been talking to the owners of Print Tech, and things can be talked through and worked out. Just because you put something on Etsy and somebody does do that, there's a way around that. Not a way around it, but there's a way where you could talk to the company, and you can also talk to the customer, and so things can get worked out. So
cool.
Yeah. So I'm not really worried about that, because that can all be worked out.
Again, American Yesteryear, I can't use the word black on any t-shirt. I have since exchanged that keyword for dark. So maybe you guys could do those black pop sockets and just use the word dark instead of black.
Yeah, kind of an interesting topic on words that you're allowed to use. I think especially more recently, Amazon's been very, very clear that they don't want us describing the shirts at all, or I guess I should say the product, and focusing on the design. And I keep seeing people go back to, well, can I say woman? Can I say maternity? Can I say, and it's, yeah, I think that's something that Amazon's going to really start cracking down hard on here.
That's pronouns though, right?
We know, I figure it's one thing to say great shirt for men who love to work out, because you're kind of describing the audience. But like, I notice a lot of people, want to say prime or the materials or the quality. And it's like, Amazon's kind of addressing all that with how to wash it, fabrics. It says prime. They have men and women. And so, yeah, I mean, I think as long as what you're saying, great, kids will love this shirt is one thing, but like not available in kid sizes or,
Yeah. Because maybe there's a little bit of keyword stuffing in those too, and maybe they're just redundant kind of information. They're trying to make a cleaner experience for the customer, because it's all about the customer in the bottom line when you really think about it.
I know what you were saying about not being able to use, like, what'd you say earlier? You couldn't use like classy or some other words. Or if you go, there's actually a group called Merch Watchdogs, and they deal with like trademarks, and they try to like almost get those get those stopped, where like, okay, we want to use classy, so we're going to fight it or whatever. But one recently where I was looking on their Facebook page was they were talking about the brand Mama Bear. And what I always heard, like, oh, you can't use Mama Bear, you can't use it at all. But somebody said this is kind of they've been kind of going through, they never actually really got that fully registered. And so you can put up Mama Bear. They're like, maybe these people are trying to scare you, saying you can't, but they were saying you could. And because people had it, for a long time, and the reason why people were going, oh, so I can't use Mama Bear, and the guy was saying, yeah, you can. There's not a thing on it. And actually, I think they got it. That group got it where suspended, where you can use that word, or you always could use that word, but they're fighting people on using words like classy and deplorable and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty cool group.
Yeah, I think I heard Young talking about them the other week. Yeah.
Patricia Dodd says, do you sell more pop sockets with graphics or text? I sell more with graphics. You guys' thoughts?
Graphics
and patterns. Yeah.
But I will tell you that that comment has got my mind. See, that's what some crazy. Someone could just put a sentence, and I got 50 ideas about something that just would probably work.
But the last one I did sell, it was all text. So I mean,
right. I'm gonna actually go down that road this week with that. That's actually a very interesting idea. Okay.
Since a lot of people are kind of leaning towards more of graphics, there's a lot of wide open room to put text. So yeah.
Right. Let's see here. Lord Ahab saying he had one of his Amazon change the description of the text. That's actually happened. They've changed the brand name on me. Have they guys ever changed the brand names on you for shirts or anything?
No.
Not that I've noticed. No.
Yeah, they've done that a lot of times, because there's two camps here, right? There's the camp like Jeff who will do his Cosmic Frog brand and then put all his shirts under the brand. Or there's people like me that will make a brand for specific niches. And I noticed that if I do a specific niche, it'll actually change the brand name. Like, let's just say I did widgets as the brand name, widget shirts. Amazon will actually go and change it to something that has to do with widgets, but a more popular term. Have you guys never seen that before?
Mm-mm.
You know what? I tend to use like almost a different, it's kind of weird. It's almost counterintuitive. Like you want to build a brand. And I've heard a lot of people say that when you use brands, you're kind of opening yourself up to people seeing all your designs and copying you. So I've kind of gotten into the habit of doing almost a different brand for every single shirt that I make.
Yeah, that's the camp that I'm in.
I'd use a different brand too for every shirt that I make. So
Right. I mean, I do that also, but I also niche it up. So if I have a niche, I'll build a whole product line under that niche, which has been successful because Jeff's argument is when you have very specific brand niches, when they go and click on the shirt, they can't see, they show someone else's shirts underneath. But if you have a certain amount of shirts in that brand name, it'll show those in there. So like, let's take widgets, for example. If I do a widget shirt and I only have one design, it's only going to show that listing. And then it's going to be other people's shirts underneath. If you have widgets design shirts and there's like maybe 5 or 10 of them, it'll show your other widget shirts below. So I don't know if you guys have heard of that before or anything like that. Does that make sense?
You know, that was kind of my strategy in going into pop sockets was, you know, say I'm making a cow pop socket, like I'm going to put out 150 of them and I don't care what you search for. If you search anything related to cows, I want you finding nothing but my design. So it was kind of my strategy was to kind of flood niches like that.
Yeah. Note to self, I'm going to make some cow pop sockets.
I've already made some. No.
I haven't did that yet, but no, I hear what you're saying. Let's see here. Hot Flash Heidi saying there's a Facebook group for the stopping frivolous trademarks called Watchdogs. I've never seen that before.
That's the one I was talking about, that group.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, if you so actually we're getting to the top of the hour here. I think we've had a pretty good show so far. Johnny, it was definitely a pleasure for you to stop by. You're definitely welcome to stop by anytime in the future for sure. And we'll do that. And we definitely got to get together on a one-on-one in the future for sure. Johnny, do you have any last words or thoughts for today?
You know, appreciate you guys having me on. I saw you guys, saw you posted the video on Steam It the other week and really kind of enjoyed the show and stuff. So yeah, really was kind of excited to be on and been a pleasure talking to you guys. And it's kind of funny doing these things. You know, I'm always, even though I kind of live merch, I'm always kind of learning more stuff from you guys and different strategies and even from the questions. So yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
Cool, man. Yeah, dude, you mentioned Steam It. I've been knee deep in Steam It and it's amazing platform. And it's funny because I actually forgot about it during this show, but now I remember like I'm in this whole world just like you of Steam It. So that's some of the stuff that I'm going to be doing after that. So definitely guys, Johnny's link is below. Rules for Rebels is the handle. Definitely go and check out his videos. He's got a lot of great series and he does daily content for sure. Joe, anything, any last words or anything today?
No, it's just great to be here and great to, talk to Johnny and just, talk to somebody else about merch and where they're coming from. So yeah, it's good to hear somebody else's story.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Better Living Through Nostalgia is asking where Margaret is. She is super busy with her move. I'm pretty sure she will be back at some point with the show. But for now, I'm kind of just hosting the show, taking it pretty much week by week and definitely enjoying doing that for sure. So if you guys aren't subscribed, definitely go up there and click the subscribe button. Please click the like button if you enjoyed any part of this video. Links to Joe and Johnny's YouTube channels will be in the description below if you're watching this on the back end. Once again, guys, I really appreciate it. Actually, real quick, I'm going to be doing YouTube and Steam It and everything full-time starting August 1st. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm pretty nervous, so I'm pretty sure. I know Joe does this full-time. Johnny, real quick, do you do what you do here full-time?
You know what? I'm actually have an e-commerce shop that I run full time. So I mean, that's kind of the bulk of my income. But you know, I do merch and YouTube and everything else, which kind of helps as well.
So you're pretty much your own boss. You don't work for anyone. You're self-made.
Self-employed, yeah.
Self-employed, yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, so I'll be definitely I'm a little nervous to be honest, so I'm definitely
well, you know what, I'm a little bit overly cautious, and then with health insurance and things like that, I was actually making very little money at my day job, was probably making about 4 times my salary, and was still scared to kind of make the leap and leave. And looking back, I was, I should have left a long time sooner. But yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on. You're a talented dude, so yeah, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it for sure. We're going to do one more quick question here. How many rejections before they suspend your account? I'm not going to give you guys a number, but I can guarantee I've had more rejections than anyone on merch, guaranteed. So if I'm still here, doesn't mean go and screw up like me. That means just be very cautious. But I'm saying, don't purposely go and make Star Wars shirts because you're going to get your account suspended. If they're honest mistakes, they're honest mistakes. Sometimes we miss trademarks and things like that. With that, I really appreciate you guys one more time for the show. Links are going to be below to Joe and Johnny's site, and we'll see you guys. What's that?
Oh, I just saw something. Someone's saying kitty farts. My every morning, my girlfriend writes a stupid message on our whiteboard back there. I saw you ask 2 or 3 times, so that's what kitty farts is.
Dude, it's funny. We've just did the show for an hour, and I just noticed that right now. I wouldn't even have noticed that if you didn't bring it up.
Hey, also let's I'll add that Print Tech link at the bottom of this too. So,
okay, yeah, you're gonna have to give me that, Joe. Is it affiliate link?
Yeah, affiliate link.
So Joe will have an affiliate link at the end, or if you're watching this on the back end, I'll get the link from Joe and we'll put it down there for him for sure. So once again, guys, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Goodbye.
Later, guys.